What if there was a simple way to improve the quality and composition of your photos and videos, even if you don't have a creative eye? Well, there is. It's called using the middle line. In a previous video, I showed you examples of the rule of thirds to improve the composition of your images and videos, and I'm going to link to that in the comment section below. But for this video, I want to talk to you about the middle line. And what this rule says is that you can create compelling compositions by centering your subjects on the middle line of the image, either vertically or horizontally. Hi, I'm Jim Costa. I'm a photography, videography, and technology guru, and I created this blog to help you become a tech-savvy senior. My tips and advice are useful for anyone, but my specific focus is on helping seniors become more familiar with technology to improve and better their lives. For today's lesson, I've decided to show you an age-old trick to taking better photos and videos. This trick actually dates back to the Renaissance and was used by the old masters to create some amazing oil paintings. The trick is really quite simple. You want to center your subject either vertically or horizontally across the screen, right down the center from edge to edge. Imagine a plus sign, right? Like this, where the subject is right along the lines of the symbol, vertically or horizontally. The thing to remember is that for this composition to work, your subject has to fill the entire frame, either vertically or horizontally. You absolutely do not want to center your subject right in the center of the image, right where those lines intersect. And you want to make sure to have the subject reach all the way to the edge of the frame, or it will look off, either all the way to the sides or all the way to the top and bottom. This type of composition framing works well for shooting landscapes, for example, or even architecture. I'm going to show you some examples of my own images so you can see how this type of composition works. So let's jump over to my laptop right now for that. Okay, so I have Photoshop open, and I have some images that I recently took on the screen. Let me show you how the middle line rule works. This particular picture is from the Montreux Jazz Festival. You can read it here in the back. This was a performance, one of the musicians. And let me turn on the center line. Remember I said it looks like a plus sign. And look at how it's lined up. The image right across this line here of what's the most important is the musician's eyes. If you're going to shoot a person, it's a good idea to line up their eyes either vertically or horizontally along this line, and it really makes for some compelling images. Let me jump to another image from the Montreux Jazz Festival in Montreux, Switzerland. And let's click on the link again, and notice again the eye of this gentleman here, saxophone player, right on the center line. So let's jump ahead, and some of these are like sort of obvious. This particular image is the Cathedral of Santa Maria Assunta in Sienna, Italy. And this was a statue on the outside, and then if you click on, you can see the edge of the building goes right down the center compared to the images of the sky beyond. And this is the same. This is another image of the same cathedral in Sienna, Italy. And look, as I mentioned, it works really well for architecture. So this is part of the bell tower, and the sun was on this side here on the right, and this was the left, but it has some really distinctive black and white marble. And I thought this image came out really nice, and again, it's right down the center, taking up the full frame. Let's jump ahead. Now this is an area of just walking around town in Siena, Italy. Again, this is another building, brick building, and on the corner of the building, and turn on my middle line graphic here in Photoshop, and you can see that I have it right down the center. This again, same thing, walking around the city. I really like these bricks. You notice that there's like one section where there was once something else here, right down the middle. So I caught a picture of that, and again, if you turn on my graphic for the center line, you'll notice that I have it lined up more or less. I mean, there's bricks, it wasn't exactly straight, but more or less straight up and down the middle. Here's another image from the city, and again, I'm sort of fascinated with architecture. And what I thought was interesting was this drain pipe that runs right down the edge here. It's in the corner between two buildings, and again, if you turn on the graphic, you'll see it's lined up perfectly right down the center. Let's go to the next image. Now this was in a little town in Tuscany, Serra di Rapallo. I may be saying that wrong, I'm not sure, I don't speak Italian. But again, this was a wooden door and next to an old brick wall. And you turn on, you can see very clearly, right down the middle. I tend to do these vertically for architecture, but again, they do work horizontally. We've got one more image for you here. Here is the horizontal, just to show you. It's in that same town in Italy we just mentioned. And this was an old brick wall of someone's garden, and of course, turn on the graphic and it's plain to see. It's divided up nice and evenly straight across the horizon line. You can imagine, I mean, it doesn't have to be always exactly, but it would sort of make sense, like if this was cut off, that this would look kind of odd. Again, rules are meant to be broken. You don't have to do it every time, all the way across, but I think when you're starting out, I think it works really nice. Here we go again, and there's a very even design change right across the center between the bricks, or the rocks on the bottom, and the stone pedestals on top. If this is making sense to you, put Tech Savvy Senior in the comment section below. If you found the information I provided in this video useful, please like it, comment below, share it, and remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Jim Costa Films. If you would like more information on becoming a Tech Savvy Senior, or to see other videos and photos, you can connect with me by looking for Jim Costa Films on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and online. I currently have over 4,000 videos on my YouTube channel, Jim Costa Films, so feel free to check that out and see many of my other videos, including other Tech Savvy Senior video blogs I've created. I also have a new Facebook group called Video Producers and Content Creators, so look for that on Facebook to connect there and join the group for even more pro tips and tricks.